All right. Let's take a look at some news of the day today and some milestone stuff and this kind of thing. Um, so last night, Elias, the young kid, Peterson, for the Vancouver Canucks, passes Pavel Bure with his 61st point. I have always been upset that the Canucks record for rookies is 60 points. I've always thought that's too low. Now Bure's was 60 points because he didn't play a full season. Patterson's is going to end up being low ish because he hasn't played the full season. But you know what? I'm glad he's got the record. I hope it doesn't lead to a tremendous amount of pressure going into next year. I'm already thinking ahead. My Canuck concerns are that there will be too much pressure on him, and that if he has some kind of a sophomore down season, sort of like what Brock Besser's had, and Besser's put up some decent point totals, but because the expectation was higher, there's been some negative talk regarding Brock and whatnot. So hopefully people don't expect the world of him right away. It's going to take a while. I mean, he could have a fantastic year next year, but I'd like to see some tempered expectations. I don't see it. Pasternak's returning tonight for the Boston Bruins. Missed 16 games. Blames himself for the injury. Says, I let my team down. The good news for Pastrnak and the Bruins is this. They have him back. And while he was out, they only lost 3 in regulation out of 16 games. How a team responds to adversity, to losing one of their best players via injury, can often show you the character of that team. I am more confident of the Boston Bruins right now, coming out of the Pastrnak injury, than I was going in. And that's despite the fact that Torrey Krug is out with a concussion, was wearing a non-contact jersey, and there doesn't seem to be a big timeline for his return. But since he's at least on the ice skating, hopefully that means it won't be too long, because they need his offense on the blue line, even though Charlie McAvoy's been providing pretty well lately. Now, Ryan, yeah, he'll be the center on the top line for Calgary. So speaking of injuries and adversity, the Calgary Flames are going through it right now. And James Neal apparently is returning as well. So Neal's coming back. For those who believe that James Neal just needs the right opportunity, maybe he gets it now. And maybe he helps. Now, with Monahan out, that's going to hurt. Ryan being on that first line, that's going to be interesting to see what happens. And it makes sense because you don't want to break up the 3M line. So throw Ryan on the top line. It could end up being what we would call a donut line in hockey, where the wingers are both excellent and the center's just kind of there. But on the other hand, Ryan could end up racking up a ton of assists, just passing it off to Johnny, pass it off to Lindholm, and he's good. So we'll see what happens with Calgary with this. But again, you have to go through injuries in this league. And the Flames have been very fortunate this year not to have injuries when you consider, Monahan's in his mid-30s. They haven't had to worry about a major goaltending injury. They haven't had to worry about a lot of things that other teams have. So it's been a pretty good season for Calgary from that point of view. Stamkos, I mentioned this last night. Thought I'd throw it into this video as well. He passed Vinny Lecavalier with his 384th goal to become the all-time leading goal scorer for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Congratulations to him, a guy whose hands were supposed to be gone due to injury. And this year he's rediscovered them. I believe that's 35 goals for him this year. Yeah, he'll get 400 early next year, and I think he's really back. Now, Ovechkin, when you speak of goal scoring, he's got 655. Now, he has 48 this year, so he's 2 away from 50. He's also 2 away from passing Brendan Shanahan. See, I get Monahan in my head, right? So, Brendan Shanahan has 656. Ovechkin 655. 2 will get him past him. He is 13 behind Robitaille. So, he probably doesn't catch Robitaille unless he goes absolutely insane and scores 60 goals this year. He could. It's Ovechkin. He absolutely could. So he is moving up the list fast, and he's passing some guys who played a lot of hockey and were considered great goal scorers in their time as well. Joe Thornton on the assist list. He has 1,058. Yzerman 1,063. So he's 5 away from tying Yzerman, 6 away from passing him. And we'll see what he does with that. So for Thornton, this is probably his last year. I say probably because I came out of last year's playoffs, the way that Thornton was acting, the way that his injuries have been acting, you figured that was his last year then, and then now he sticks around. So Thornton may very well decide this summer. He may look at his numbers and say, you know what, I can still contribute. The Sharks would very, very likely say, yeah, we'll take Joe back for another year. But, we'll see what happens there. At any rate, he could very well pass Yzerman by the end of the year. Lundqvist is sitting at 449 wins, playing tonight. He may get that 450. Bobrovsky, 249, could be playing tonight. I would think he'll be playing tonight. He could hit 250 in his career. So for Lundqvist, he's another one, too, that I wonder how many years he's got to go. But both goaltenders could hit a milestone tonight. Vlad Tarasenko returning for St. Louis. St. Louis, who've been kind of mediocre over the last month. This gives them a chance to start scoring some goals. I've mentioned that Jake Allen's put up great numbers. They just haven't given him goal support. Goal support is here in the form of Vlad Tarasenko. Here's the odd one. Cody Glass. This one's odd. So Glass gets hurt in the Western League, and he's rehabbing in Vegas. And I'm thinking to myself, has that ever been said before? Usually you rehab from going to Vegas. You rehab because of Vegas. This is a kid, too young to drink, who's rehabbing in Vegas. Not too young to drink in Canada, but too young to drink in Vegas. So I just thought that was a fun headline. But what it also shows is that Cody Glass isn't going anywhere. So while they move Nick Suzuki, they move Brandstrom as well. There is no chance of Cody Glass being traded by the Vegas Golden Knights. They're taking good care of him. And that's important. A kid gets hurt, and you might go, yeah, okay, so he got hurt. We want our doctors to take care of him, our trainers to look at him, make sure he's okay. And it also gives a kid a chance to feel like he's really a part of the organization before you send him back to the Western League for the playoffs. May very well help him in that as well. Jason Spezza is a healthy scratch tonight for Dallas. He hasn't been producing. And it's funny because I'm trying to remember which broadcast I was watching against Dallas. I want to say St. Louis, but I don't think it was. Where they were talking a lot about Spezza. And his hands and how, this shot missed the net. But he's still got these hands and he's got the talent. And you can see why he was such a dominant player for so long. The problem is he misses too often. And this is an example of how it just hasn't worked in Dallas for him this year. He's an unrestricted free agent this summer. Does he retire? Does somebody offer him a $1 million a year deal, maybe for 1 year or two? Give him a prove-it deal, see if he's still got it. I don't know, but I'm not entirely surprised at him being a healthy scratch. I'm more surprised that they're able to find 4 centers with him not in the lineup, but Dallas has a plan. Jim Montgomery's decided he's going to sit Spets out. Maybe it's just for the one game. Who knows? We'll see if they win the game in a convincing fashion. Maybe he ends up sitting out more than just the one. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Just tapping upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.